All right, let this chat show continue, huh? As head coach of the Chicago Hawks, as we call them. We also call them the Chicago Hockey Team. Among other things, we called them a playoff team last year. I don't know if we're going to make it back to the playoffs after the offseason that we had, but a reminder of what the GM has our team looking like. These, I think, were the line combinations we were going to run with. It is Kurashev, Bedard, and Kale Doc, Paul Ludwinski, Frank Nazar, Lucas Reichel, Joe Nightingale, Dylan Cousins, Michael Hague, and then Roman Kantsarov, Oliver Moore, Temple. Trying to break up the big three and have one dominant player on each line to see if that happens. I'm looking to make a whole NCAA custom roster. How would you weight NCAA stats, or what would an average player rating be? So I imagine that's tough. Because if it's just from an NCAA standpoint, you could rank it as basically an NHL file, right? For me, when I add in NCAA players, like the highest overall I tend to give them is like a 76 to a 78. But you don't want to make a custom roster where all the best players are a 78. You could. It'd be interesting. But for example, you would probably want, let's go with, is it Denisenko that I'm thinking of? No, it was a different Panthers. Prospect that I'm trying to think of. What was he, like 2016 draft? Henrik Borgstrom. Like, that guy dominated in the NCAA. Would you want to have him as one of the highest rated players at a 78, or would you want to be like, well, relative to other NCAA players, he's like a 92? I think you could do it either way. It might better replicate the NCAA, though, to not have the best players be 92s, but then you might end up with some dudes that are in like the 50s. So, cynical, we were with the Blues. Our contract expired, and we got an offer to be the head coach here in Chicago for double the money. And we couldn't say no to Connor Bedard. But over the offseason, our GM went out. They got some goaltending. We still have 3 great forwards to lead the way. I would like to think that we'd make the playoffs with this team. I would. It would be pretty devastating if we didn't. We made the playoffs last year. Our defense technically got a little bit worse, but our goaltending on paper got significantly better. Philip Kurashev suffers a concussion in the first game of the season, but we are 3-0. And Chaz Lucius is going to be our healthy scratch this year. See what happens again. By having Bedard with players other than Nazar and Cousins, we're hoping he gets a little bit more focus, a little bit more of the puck. That is now 2 concussions for Kurashev in 2 weeks. Not even 2 weeks. That man's going to have to retire by the end of the season. Dylan, are you a team player? I disagree. Suck it up, Buttercup. You should have played better over the last season. I was going to say last 2 seasons, but I think last year was his first season with us. And here comes the mutinies in regards to ice time. Boys, you can be team players, or you can shut up anyway. That's what happens. Oh my God. Bunch of frickin' prima donnas on this team. Joe, hush up. That's right. Good man. Good man. Be a team player. We could do good. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is going to be a long season of the same conversation over and over again of people complaining about their ice time. And then hopefully being won over. But we have gotten off to a very good start this season, which is good. Mr. Lucius, 1 point in 5 games. So I'm not too upset about having you as a scratch anymore. I'm upset about my ice time. Trade me to Deke Slayer. Do you mean twitch.tv/Deke Slayer? And if you want to watch and play non-sports things, you can go to twitch.tv/Metal Deke Slayer. Zane Appleby gets hurt. What a nightmare. Oh, what a nightmare. Kale Doc is also hurt. JD, it's set to fully healed. They can just get hurt again anyway. All right. Defensively, Ethan Edwards will take you out for the Appleby. And Doc is still hurt with Lucius in there. That's fine. Well, we were off to a hot start. It's been a pretty bad month, all things considered. Not really liking where things stand at the moment. Bedard, 19 points in 17 games. That's nothing special. Cancer off. What do you want? I disagree. You got to suck it up, buddy. Play better. Kurashev did develop spin around. Oh my God, the ice time complaints. Joe, you already said you were a team player, didn't you? Get back to the dressing room. I've had it up to here with your whining. At least we beat the St. Louis Blues. Oh my God. I'm mad about my ice time. I'm mad about how I'm playing. Everyone's upset all the time. What is this, Twitter? Fuck. Just win hockey games, boys. Jesus. How do they expect owner mode to be fun when every 2 seconds I have someone complaining about ice time? And then they complain about how poorly they're playing and apologizing for it. Christmas. No wonder why the vast majority of people play this on auto. They have to. Like, who finds this fun? Well, we're trading a high top 6 defensive prospect for literally nothing. So that's fun. Come on, man. All right. Well, hopefully that Canucks draft pick will be higher. We get rid of Ryland Singh. We then trade 2 second-round picks to the Arizona Coyotes for a 3rd and defenseman Mikey Anderson. So, Mikey Anderson, welcome to the team. Guess we're freeing up a roster spot. Is Mikey on the roster by default, or is he in Rockford? Let's see. He's here. Okay. Well, let's see. Ryan Johnson, Nolan Allen aren't doing that hot. Siliev could be doing better with someone other than Appleby. I don't think Appleby is going to get much better. Ryan Johnson hasn't done much. So let's get Mikey Anderson in there with Siliev. Brizgalov and Korchinski have been okay. So, I mean, our defense did get better. Having Mikey Anderson on the second pairing is not bad. I mean, he's a very good defensive defenseman. That's not a bad deal. I feel bad for Ryan Johnson, but he wasn't playing particularly well. He'll be upset about getting scratched. I haven't checked how the goaltending is, and maybe I should have, but... A 2nd-round pick and another defensive prospect named Bureau for Thomas Harley Thomas, and 2 4th-round picks from the Sharks as we bring in more defense. Thomas Harley is here as well. I can't imagine he got put on the NHL roster. No, he did. Oh, man, he's only an 82, though. That's rough. He's going to still be a scratch with Johnson. I can't really justify putting him into the lineup right now. 906 for Wallstead, 903 for Eustace. We'll just leave Wallstead in. I'm a little bit afraid of another trade. I'm a little bit afraid that Bedard isn't exactly playing like we'd want Connor Bedard to play. But I'm also afraid of messing with the Lions when we have a winning record. So we'll continue on for now. The Blues are very much in the playoff mix as well. Although we did beat them. I mean, you know either one of us is going to win the Stanley Cup and go through the other to do it. It writes itself. Paul Ludwinski, who was on the second line, is complaining about ice time. Thank you, Paul, for shutting the hell up. Appreciate it. Joe Nightingale, again, bitching about how he's playing. Joe, just figure it out. Yeah, you're welcome for the vote of confidence, champ. You're welcome. Paul, shut up. Just do hockey things. Oh my God, this is why no one plays with morale meetings. No shit, eh? It's the same 2 to 3 conversations over and over again. I'm very tempted to turn them off because it is, honestly, no one's getting anything out of this at this point. I'm not. I can't imagine it's entertaining. Fuck them around. I'm closing my office door. Don't talk to me. If you're mad, be mad, but don't talk to me. It is no longer an open door policy. Shut up. I don't want to hear from you guys. Score goals, don't score goals, but leave me the hell alone. That's my response. Leave me alone. We are at the halfway point of the season. Bedard, just over a point per game. Goalie-wise, Wallstead with a 9-10. It's also a 9-10 for Eustace, so not too bad. Everyone's going to bitch on Twitter about ice time. That's fair. I see you fancy yourself a journalist. Warrior, thank you for the raid, by the way. How was the FIFA? All right, defensively, we're looking okay. Shockingly. Closed door policy in Chicago. What can go wrong? Hey, listen up, you little shit. All right, first and second line not quite clicking the way I wanted it to. What if I swap Ludwinski with Doc? We'll try that instead. We'll have Ludwinski with Bedard and Kurashev. We'll see how that goes. Minor changes here. Let's see. Let's keep it going. God help me when the deadline comes up. We're trading a 3rd round pick and a shit prospect for a 5th and a 7th. A shit prospect who's not even signed. So you're literally getting rid of a 3rd round pick for a 5th and a 7th. God damn it, Kyle. Oh, for every good trade, we have one of those. Ridiculous. How's the AHL team doing? That's a good question. We trade a 3rd and a medium 7th defenseman named Deming for a 4th and a 7th to Pittsburgh. We are allergic to 2nd and 3rd round picks. We're trading a 2nd round pick and a defensive prospect named Bodine to the Sharks for a 7th and $4.3 million of Samuelson. Looks like it'll end up, we got to go GM best roster and see what happens. Cool to see Belichick as a GM. God. Okay. What's the team look like now? The gang's all here. It was Edwards who got sent down and cleared waivers instead of Harley. Okay. Did it screw up my line combos? It did. So we'll have to go back through this. Halfway point of the season, over the halfway point of the season, though. Now's a pretty good time to take a look at things and see who should play where. That 3 scratch defenseman. At the moment, Appleby, Harley, Brizgalov, yeah. So Appleby this year has actually been decent so far. Thomas Harley, not so much. Brizgalov, the best of the bunch so far. 9 points and a plus 15. Let's go look at the defense here. We have Korchinski, who has been fantastic and has been playing alongside Brizgalov, so we probably don't want to mess that up. Silyev is never going to be an elite defenseman, clearly. Matthias Samuelsson. Ugh, boy, is that the guy that we really wanted to go out and get for $4 million. Ryan Johnson. About as good as Thomas Harley. And then Mikey Anderson has also been in the mix. Nolan Allen has been okay, given he is what he is. Really quickly, goalie-wise, we're going to run with Eustace for a little bit here, just to see if he can be better than Wallstead, who's been kind of mid. Defensively, we want Korchinski and Brizgalov. We want Appleby and Anderson, Silyev, and Allen. So Samuelsson and Johnson are out. Samuelsson is out for Brizgalov. Johnson is out for Appleby. And we'll do it that way. Who has better shooting? Appleby does. And then Allen and Silyev. Those have been our 6 best defensemen so far this season. As far as the forwards are concerned, there's nothing we're going to be changing about who's a part of the team. But let's see who's played well. Oliver Moore has been on the 4th line this season, but he has done pretty well. I'm a little bit worried about changing things up about the team, but at the same time, it feels like the defense has changed enough anyway that it really doesn't matter. But this is the best our team has looked so far, just in terms of like all-around point production and everything. Kancerov's looked pretty good. The strategy of having one big player on each line has seemingly worked out pretty well. Ludwinski's been our weakest player so far. Cole Temple has actually been pretty damn good. Cale Dock, who's been in the top 6 all season, has also been pretty damn good. Philip Kurashev, who's been alongside Bedard this season, not so great. So the big question with the team is, do we play the weakest players next to Bedard to allow them to hopefully be boosted up while the rest of the team actually does well? Except for Frank Nazar, who's been one of our weakest players, which is very disappointing. Connor has obviously still been our best player. And then Dylan Cousins has been one of the better, not the best. So we got options on how we want to split up the team here. So it's Bedard, Doc, and Oliver Moore as our best 3 players. Kancerov, Temple, and Cousins. Hagee, Nightingale, and Reichel. We can try it. Still gives us really good depth throughout the lineup, but Kurashev and Nazar being 2 of our worst 3 forwards is a horrible, horrible sight. We'll just play Kancerov there. That's fine, because I imagine we lose the +1. It actually doesn't matter. Keep Nightingale there because of the boost. I mean, it's really good depth. If we kept the morale meetings on, we would see complaint after complaint, but the AIGM has built a pretty damn good team. It's just whether or not they can keep performing at a high level. We're just 1 point off of the division leaders in Nashville with 2 games at hand. We're closing in on the trade deadline as well, and that, that scares me a lot. He might do something crazy. We are still winning a lot of games, though. Timo Nickel gets hurt. And we round out the month with a game against Ottawa that we won. Still chasing Nashville. Silyev gets hurt. He'll be out for the majority of the month. Not as if we don't have options to fill that role. But here we go. It is the trade deadline. And we will see if anything's going to happen here. We are not in terms of teams interested for any of the top players that are currently listed. But we will give it a little bit of time as we do to see if anything happens. And yeah, now's a good time. The trading block does update. It does. I know it sometimes doesn't seem like it, but it does. With the setting that's on, it's inconsistent, but it does change. Any New Year's plans to fucking sleep, man? It's been an exhausting month. Absolutely exhausting. Let the boy get some sleep. Criminy. Yeah, hey, now's a good time. Sporkle, anything like that, link them up. Sporkle tier makers, let's go. List them up. I'm going to do a speed round of GeoGuessr. We'll see if any trades happen, and if not, we'll either skip to the rest of the deadline, or, yeah, we'll do something else as we wait. Oh, who cares? Pennsylvania, Ontario, Maine, like it could be anywhere. Go to the mythical Pennsylvania, New York. There you go, Delaware. I believe it. I believe it. The Nihon. Welcome to the Nihon. Hopefully, could be Taiwan. We'll go southern Japan. It was Japan. Fair enough. Decent shout. Why? Okay, up. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That farmer's making bank with a fake brick facade. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm probably going to get it wrong. Probably going to get it wrong. Show me like Texas. Got it wrong. Got it wrong. Just a little bit. I was thinking Europe with how that looked. But then I'm like, house, tractor, gotta be Texas. I would have guessed France anyway. There's no fucking way I was going to guess Northern Ireland. So, fair enough. What do we got? Well, that helps just a little bit, doesn't it? One of those signs where you say, how the hell wasn't that blurred? That's a hell of a guess right there. Love to see it. Final one. Australia? New Zealand? Couple of options here. Can't get anything with language on it. No. All right. Well, we will, damn. It's no move either. I'm going to go with my gut on this one. Show me like Melbourne. Not quite Melbourne. Mexico City. Fair enough. Not my best round. That might have been my worst round so far. There you go. Well, you'll be shocked to know no trades have happened. They've been an incredible rarity for us. Kirk, yes, you should give everyone a bubble. You should. All right, well, we got a couple of tier makers and a couple of sporkles. Let's wait. Let's wait to see what happens. NHL award winners since 2000. Jesus Christ. All right, hold on. We got that. Create a late night talk show host tier list maker, or the first overall pick. Okay, hold on. First of all, let's see if I can name everybody. I think that's Samantha B. I'm gonna use the C tier as I've never watched them. The D tier, horrible. C tier, never heard of ya. The B tier will be solid. The A tier will be good. And the S tier will be GOAT status. Never heard of you / seen the show. I don't know who that is. Is that oh wait, it's Chelsea Handler, isn't it? I've never seen her show. Bill Maher can fuck off. Stephen Colbert as a late night host he's fine. The GOAT. The GOAT is Jon Stewart. Letterman was fine. Jimmy Kimmel's fine. Jay Leno was solid. Stephen Colbert. Better when he was on Comedy Central. Trevor Noah's, he was solid. Oh, the two goats. The two goats. Jimmy did solid. The three goats. The three goats. The four goats. And then, okay, you know what? Actually, so this is going to be the solid tier. That's the new solid tier, right? No particular order. This will be the never heard of you, never seen you tier. This will be the horrible tier, and this will be the worst tier. Horrible, he's worse. GG's to the four goats. You'll be shocked to know we still haven't gotten a single fucking trade offer this entire time. This entire time. I hate it here. How haven't we gotten a single one? Colbert Report deserves GOAT status. I agree. Colbert Report, GOAT status. His late night talk show, not GOAT status. So it evens out. That's the problem. And Jay Leno gets to be where he is because he beat Hulk Hogan in a match. And we stand anybody that beats Hulk Hogan. Our GM is fucking asleep. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. God damn it. All right. Fuck it. The first, oh God, I just realized either one of those two quizzes that were popped up are going to be trouble for me. Let's do it. Maybe. Or I could save those for a video I have to make on these anyway. I'll embarrass myself at a later date, man. There's going to be no trades here. There's going to be no trades. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. Barrett Hayton was traded for Brandon Carlo, and when that's called the blockbuster, you know it wasn't a very good deadline. 35 wins on deadline day. Are we going to be playoff bound for the second year in a row? Right now, we are the number one team in the Central, which is wonderful. Wunderbar. Kale Doc pulled his groin. That is not wunderbar, as Sileyev is healthy and apparently playing as a forward. We'll get Thomas Harley in there, I guess. Let's take Samuelson out for Sileyev. And then we'll get Samuelson in there as a bouncer. Go and clear the crease for Connor. Do it. Oh, we're losing games. Oh, we're losing games. All right. April 1st, we are first in the division. We have clinched a playoff spot. We are going back. We are going back to the postseason for the second year in a row. The Blues right now, oh my God. If the season ended today, we'd play St. Louis. The Vegas Golden Knights, we lose. Kale Doc is healthy. Young, strong, and healthy. Beautiful and wealthy. That's a deep cut wrestling reference. San Jose Sharks, we win. So we are still trying to clinch this division title. The Ducks. Thought that was going to be an NHL injury. We lose. The Canucks. We win. The LA Kings. Oh, shit. The Blues. The Blues got to stop slacking. I want to play you in the playoffs, damn it. The LA Kings. We win. Is that enough to clinch the division title? No, it is not. 3 games left, 3 points ahead of Nashville. The Blues are going to end up being the 8th seed instead of the 7th. So, more than likely, unless we drop a game to them. Calgary, we lost. St. Louis, we lost. Oh, boy. Okay, we might have thrown away the division title. The Blues can't catch the Wild. We have to beat Seattle and hope that Colorado screws up. Otherwise, we just threw away this division title. What's going to happen? Final game of the season. We win, but it's not enough. We absolutely threw away the Central Division title to the Colorado Avalanche. The Avs will play the Wild. We're going to play Nashville. St. Louis will play Anaheim. And the Canucks will play the Oilers. We tossed away our chance at that division title. That is annoying, to say the least. Connor Bedard led the way. 86 points, 46 goals. Roman Kantsarov ended up being second in scoring, then Cousins, Nazar, Oliver Moore. Very well-rounded scoring outputs from this team. I mean, look at this. Over half of our forwards had at least 50 points. That's insane. Our lowest scorer was Ludwinski with 32 points. That is outrageously good. Top goal scorer again, Bedard, Kantsarov over 30. Not bad for someone who started off the season on the 4th line. Big shout out to Memory Castle, 4 months. How the heck are you? And a happy holidays to you. Shout out to Kevin Korchinski, Zane Appleby. Korchinski finally had that big breakout year. Goaltending. Wallstead was the better of the two. It's Jesper Wallsted's crease for the playoffs. Fair enough. Let's see. Around the league. Wow. It's Austin Matthews' world. We're all just living in it. McKinnon, Pettersson, McDavid, Svechnikov, and Marner all breaking 100 points. Top goal scorer was 65. Austin Matthews. One of just 3 to put up at least 50. Top defenseman, Evan Bouchard. You had Fox, Sider, Hughes, Brandt, Clark, and Cale Makar up there. Top goal scorers, Shea Theodore and Per Eriksson on the Leafs. Winningest goaltender, Jeremy Swayman for the Bruins. Top save percentage amongst the starter, you could argue, is Damian Clara. Eric Olson's also up there. Ilya Sorokin. Anything over a 9-10 was considered fantastic. So, again, scoring in this game, it's still not quite accurate to the current NHL, where instead of the high-end scorers putting up even better paces, it's all the middle ground players that put up better numbers, taking away from the super high-end, and then as a result, also dropping down some goalie save percentages a bit too low. So, Sim Engine still needs some work. Dylan Caldwell just likely won the Calder. Marcus Ruck was also up there. Fair enough. So before we get to the playoffs, I think we'll have some maneuverability in our lineup. Maybe change some things up again. Reward those who were able to put up points at the best pace. It's not as if this lineup was on fire at the end of the season either. So I think there can be some changes, but we already know who our competition's going to be. It's Nashville in round 1.